Hello, everyone. Welcome to this MYXclusive interview. I am DJ IE, and today we have an international artist joining us all the way from Nashville, Tennessee. Already, one of her songs, ABCDEFU, already has 62 million views of its official music video on YouTube alone. And of course, she has millions of streams under her belt. And also, she's just 17 years old. So we are in for a treat. We're about to meet a very amazing person, an amazing musician right now. And we're going to be knowing more about her background, how it all started, and of course, what's next. So please join me in welcoming Gayle.
Hello. Hi.
Hi, Gayle. Good morning from the Philippines.
Good morning.
How are you doing? I mean, it's been a great couple of months for you.
For sure. For sure.
You've been dropping a lot of hits, of very relatable anthems for everyone. But before we get to that, have you ever been to the Philippines?
I have not. I want to so badly, though, but I've not.
Oh, we hope you get to visit soon, after everything, after all the pandemic stuff. And we hope you get to perform here live. And we hope you get to drop by MYX when you do.
Yes. Oh, my God. I would love that. That would be incredible.
All right. Now, there are a lot of Filipino fans waiting for this. They want to get to know you more. So let's get right down to it. Gayle, can you tell us where it all started? Like, where did your love for music come from? Because we heard, we've been seeing your clips as you were a kid. You've been singing already. So where did this all start?
It all really started when I was 7. I was in my music class and I was taught about scatting. And specifically, they're showing videos about Ella Fitzgerald scatting. And I came home and I was scatting and my mom was like, "What are you doing?" We'd be at restaurants and I'd be scatting everywhere. And I just would love to sing for people. And there's one day where my mom was like, "Okay, I have to show you other type of music so you're not just scatting all the time." And she showed me Aretha Franklin. And I remember when she showed me Aretha, I felt something that I've never felt before. And I just I could live in that feeling for the rest of my life. And I just remember just completely dedicating myself to music. I literally was just I want to be Aretha Franklin when I grow up, and that's what I want to do. That's it. And I was 7, and I've been doing that and been trying to do music literally ever since. And now I'm here. So.
Ooh, that is a great early influence to have, Aretha Franklin. No wonder, and it's perfect for your voice, if I may say so, because you have this huge voice. You don't sound, young at all when you sing, because you have such a powerful and big voice. So now it all makes sense. You have Aretha Franklin since you were 7. But what was your music style when you started singing? Was it, Aretha Franklin? How did it develop into what you're releasing now?
Yeah, it was really big on powerhouse singers. So Nina Simone, Joss Stone, Aretha Franklin. I'm trying to think about Jennifer Hudson was also a pretty big one. Beyonce, just powerful, soulful singers was something that I always really loved. And I would always sing those big songs, even if I could not sing them. I would just be wailing notes that I can't hit whatsoever, just screaming on the top of my lungs. And I actually originally started out in country music. I'm originally from Texas, and so because of that, I was just surrounded by country music, and that's what I did. And also, there's a soulful that's in country music that you can kind of go down that lane. And so I was doing kind of
Mhm.
like this soul country thing, and I was just doing a lot of covers because I was like 7, and so I started in my covers and I started doing like Little Big Town, Reba McEntire, Carrie Underwood, like those songs I would sing a lot. And I then just started finding like pop music as I got older when I was probably like 11 or 12. And I started going to Nashville at 10 when I started
Mhm.
writing songs. And I remember when Taylor Swift like moved to pop music, like she was doing country and then she did pop. And I just remember being like that's so cool. And I then, even when I got older, probably around like more 12 or 13, Julie Michaels, I found her, and she's an absolutely incredible writer and artist. And like
Mhm.
what I found so inspiring about her is like that she can be a writer for other people's artist projects, and it sounds like their artist project, but then also be an artist and it sounds like her artist project. And like mastering that was so, like, she did that and that was amazing. And so I just wanted to know like how to do that. And then I also found more like rock inspirations, like even like Joan Jett and Alanis Morissette. Those were a lot of art, like those two artists really spoke to me. And even just finding more like alternative leaning music, even when I was like 15 was more when I found that, and that was something that heavily influenced my sound and what I do. And so I would even just say like the best combo of what I do now, and it's not that these are perfectly all put into my music, it's just like this is what inspires me to make music. It's like I really love powerful voices and like soulful leaning voices. And so I am really inspired by that. But I also really love alternative and like rock leaning and even just more organic leaning production. I really
Mhm.
love them, but I also love pop melodies and I love the hookiness that's in pop music. Then I also just love telling a story through your lyrics or having a point with the thing that you're saying. And so
Mhm.
I try and take all of those things and all of those inspirations and to make it into one thing, into what I'm doing. And it's not that like ABC is equally as alternative as it is as a soulful leaning vocal, as like it's not going to be a perfect combo, but those are the things that inspire me to make music of my own.
But I actually noticed the rock touch when you performed it live on Fallon.
Yeah.
How was that experience like? You did change it up a little bit, right?
I did,
Mhm.
yes. Oh my god, it was so fun. I got to play Olive, which is my Gretch. I love her very much. She's very sweet and amazing and awesome. And I got this new pedal that's like a distortion pedal that I got to play with it, which is really like takes an electric just like to another level. Oh my god, it was so fun to get to play.
Mhm.
But I remember I saw this movie in quarantine, and I should have known this movie from like my whole life, but I just didn't. It's this movie called Almost Famous. And
Oh yes, of course.
yeah, and so
Mhm.
like there's this one scene where it's like it shows like a rock concert, it shows because
Mhm.
he's on tour with like a rock band, and it shows it's a scene. And I remember it was like 2020. It was like 6 months of no shows. Like I haven't seen live music, and I was watching this movie and I saw this rock show, and I saw the energy of that. And I just saw a bunch of people packed into a room with each other, ready to scream on top of their lungs and just have a good time. And I was like, that is what I want to do. That is the type of live show that I want to have. And it's not that my music is always like that like on like platforms and social media and all that, but a live show, I want to have that like rock and alternative aspect to it. And so that is the point I try and make. And that's something that I did also with ABC. When it's live, it is more of that type of vibe. Um, and so, yeah, it is something that I did like purposely kind of like switch up for Fallon and just live shows in general.
May I just say that you are such a great storyteller? Like you
Yeah.
really put us in that situation. It speaks volumes as to your songwriting style as well, because you really are an awesome storyteller. But going back to Almost Famous, and it's about a groupie, basically a
Yeah.
fan. Um, have you ever had that experience where you would, if you could, you would follow like an artist, and who would that be? Like who would you like really go to shows for and pay so much for, and really dedicate your life to? Whose music would that be?
I mean, so many people, like so many people. I feel like if I could have gone on tour with like the Strokes, that even just to have like a camera and just follow them around, that would be incredible. Or even just like Nirvana, like Green Day, just like being on those tours, that would be ridiculous. Like that would be so much fun. Or even there's this artist, Biba Doobie. She's absolutely amazing.
Yes.
I would love to go on tour, even not even to like open up for her. Obviously, would I love to open up for her? Hell yeah! But like even to do what he did, which was really just like be an observer and take pictures and like see how their music affects people and what they do when they're off stage, what they do when they're on stage. Like I would just love to see that.
Did you say Biba Doobie?
Yes, I did.
She's actually Filipina.
Oh my gosh, amazing.
Yes.
Okay.
So thank you for saying that. It makes us all proud.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
now let's talk about how you like shifted into professional as a professional musician, because there are a lot of kids out there who love to sing when they're young and then they go on to do something else in the future, like they become doctors or architects or whatever. But what was like the turning point for you? How did you decide that you really want to do this professionally as a career?
I knew I wanted to do this as a career since I was 7. Like I was trying to do this as a career since I was 7. Like that was what I wanted. I would say when I really made even a bigger switch than just like being the kid that does vocal lessons that wants to do music is like I started getting homeschooled at 10 to go to Nashville back and forth once a month. And I feel like that was a really big switch of like, okay, this is what I want to do. And I'm very lucky to have a supportive mother because it was never her dream to have a musician daughter. That's not something that she wanted for me, you know? And so like, even when we moved to Nashville, she was like, we will, if you don't want to do this, we will stop doing this and we won't hear about it. Like you won't be a disappointment because like, you know what, you tried and you did what you wanted and at least we went for it, And so, but I would still say like, I've really been trying to do this like basically over half of my life.
Yay, mom! A round of applause for that, for supportive moms,
Yes.
for their children's dreams. Okay, and now, your dreams are coming true. And right now, actually, we're live on 4 platforms: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok, which is, where things really started. It's where at ABCDEFU really blew up. So can you tell us about that experience? What was like the point when you found out that, okay, this is big, it's getting big on TikTok?
It's one of those things where I still have yet to be like, it's big on TikTok because like, even if people are like, it popped up on my For You page, I'm like, yeah, but only once. Or like, even if I see it pop up on my For You page, I'm like, yeah, but it's only on my phone. Like, no, no way. I would say like the biggest switch for me is when I noticed is like I went on tour with one of my favorite bands, Winnetka Bowling League, last year, and they're absolutely amazing. And basically the way the tour was laid out is that it was 2 weeks on, then we had Thanksgiving break, which was like 2 weeks off, and then we had 2 weeks back on. And so because of that, the first half of the tour, nobody knew who I was, which was okay. I get it. I'm not going to be like, do you know who I am? Like, that's the whole point of being an opener is being like, hi, please don't hate me. I'm not the person you came to see, but like, don't boo me off stage, And so it was one of those things where I noticed that on the second half of the tour, when I would say ABC was always my last song, and like when I would say this song's ABCDEFU, people started cheering and people started singing along to the song. Or even if people didn't make it to my show, they would see my merch. My merch is like ABC merch, and they'd be like, "Wait, you're that girl?" Even to be known as like the alphabet girl, that means they had to like hear my song at some point, be like, "Oh, you're that like alphabet girl," and I'm like, you know what? I'll take it. Or even the emo alphabet girl, because I'm like, you think I'm emo? Okay.
Wait, actually, I wanted to ask about that. Like your whole aesthetic, like where did that come from? Because I don't know if this is correct, but it's very 90s, I think. Especially with the choker and everything. So
Yeah.
where did your style come from?
It's like it's kind of like evolved over time. I'm really actually like inspired by time periods, and so there's kind of like I kind of draw things from different periods. Like I really love 60s fashion, specifically like patterns, like super loud patterns with like, and even like there's like box dresses that are in the 60s, and those are something that I really love and I find really inspiring. But I also do love like the later 70s, early 80s female rock badass women. That is also something I really love. But also some of the like 2000s, even 90s fashion. I also really like the bagginess of times at the like 80s. And even like the 2000s, like the denim on denim, and even like the like pants with the skirt, like even the chokers, like all of those things I also really love. So I think I just kind of like collectively take all of those things from like different time periods and also things that are popular now and try and do a good combo of the two. And even with like my hair, it was not something like I didn't know that I wanted a split dye. I never thought I'd be like a person with the split dye. I literally used to have brown hair and I didn't even dye my hair till I was like 15. And even when I did it with like a color depositing conditioner. And like I dyed my hair black and then I dyed my hair red and I literally could not decide what I wanted. Like I could not figure it out. And I had red hair and then I had more of the color depositing conditioner. And so it was like 3 a.m. and I only had enough for half my head. And I was like, what if? And I did it. You know, like it was not thought through. Even like with my nose piercing, I just looked in the mirror one day and I was like, I want a hole in my nose with metal in it for sure. And my mother was like, absolutely not. And I was like, I'm gonna do it. And like I would wear a fake nose ring for months and months and months. It's like it's for sure real, but like I had to wear a fake one for a minute. But then my fake nose piercing started digging a hole in my nose. And so I convinced myself, one, I was like, my mother did this on purpose because she wanted me to stop wearing the fake nose ring so I won't get nose piercing. So of course I became a teenage daughter and got super stubborn. I was like, no. And then when my mom was like, it's making a hole in your nose. And I was like, well, it's either this one or a real nose piercing. And so then I was able to like finally get it. But I had to like earn like getting the nose piercing and like even being able to like dye my hair. Like I wasn't able to like bleach my hair. That was like a big thing because my mom didn't want me to like kill my hair.
Well, it's obvious that, you have all this creativity, courage, and culture in you. And you're just 17 years old. It's amazing. But how are you all able to fit that in your songs? Let's talk about A, B, C, D, E, F, U. So can you tell us about the song and the music video as well?
Yes. Oh my God, the music video was so much fun to film. It was such a great time. The kids in the music video, they were Robin, Weston, Bella, and Christian. They're awesome. We used my car in the music video and Christian was driving my car. So I was like, please don't crash it. And there's like one point, like we basically like filmed it on a VH camera, but we had another camera that was more of like a professional looking camera. And most of the time we had people there to make sure that we are like filming the things that we need to. But at one point they just gave us a camera and like let us drive around for a solid like 15 minutes. And like, I remember we kept playing the most random songs. Like we'd play like Britney Spears and like, what else did we play? There's this other artist that I'm forgetting. No, I'm getting her name. But basically, like, we just were playing a bunch of music, and I was like, oh, wait, we need to, like, actually do what we're, like, supposed to be doing right now. And, like, those moments, like, I used to have those moments when I was little where I'd be sitting in my car and I'd be looking at the window and it'd be, like, raining or something, and I'd pretend I'm in a music video.
Exactly. Yes. Everyone has that.
It was like that, though, because, like, we were hanging out, and we'd be like, bro, I feel like I'm in a music video right now. Like, I kind of feel like and it was literally that. Like, it's that feeling of you feel like you're in a music video, but then you're actually in a music video, And it was just like, it was so much fun. We got to trash a house. We got to like throw cake everywhere. We got icing and cake all over us. We made the most disgusting cake batter thing with like 12 eggs and 2 jugs of milk and so many mini marshmallows. And then we all took a shower together, fully clothed, might I add. But like we all took a group shower together. And I have to say, I've never just been with my friends and fully clothed, taking a shower together. And you know what? It was a good time.
Fun.
Yeah, it was a fun time.
Okay. Just one last question. I know we have to wrap up. But what is it with a dog? I mean, we heard that you kind of broke your bone, your
Mhm.
finger because of a dog, and then on your song, you spared everyone but the dog. What
Yes.
is it with that? Can
Okay.
you tell us the story behind that?
So the way I broke my finger, it was because of my dog. So like my okay, so it was raining outside and I needed to take my dog outside because my mom's like, take the dog out. And my mom at this time had a double knee replacement. So like in January, she got one knee replaced, and then in March, she got another knee replaced. So she's like 2 months post-op on one knee, and then she's 2 weeks post-op on the other. So like she can walk, but she still kind of like needs a walker. She can't really like walk down the stairs as well. And to take the dog out, you have to walk down the stairs. And it's just my mom and I. Like my brother is in college and my dad doesn't live in the house with us. And so like it was literally just the two of us. And so when she's like, take off the dog, I can't be like, no, because she literally can't. And so like, but it was raining outside. My dog didn't want to go outside. So I ring the front doorbell to go like get her attention. She like gets off under the bed, and then she's barking, and she looks me dead in the eyes, and she sees it's me that rang the doorbell, and she just turns around and goes to sprint under the bed, and I'm like, no, fuck. And so then I'm like running, and then she starts to crawl under the bed, and she has a harness on. And so I remember I reach out to grab the harness, and I trip and fall. And so I very last minute go to catch myself, and I specifically remember this. I fall, and I fall like this, and so all of the pressure just goes, and it like here's the thing, it didn't even hurt. I just remember I heard like a little something, I knew something was off. And so like, and I didn't see it at first because I just completely landed on my hand. And so then like I get up with like this hand, and I cannot even tell you the feeling of my finger being the opposite direction, because it was the last thing I expected. Like it didn't even hurt. I just heard like a little had a little ow, but it wasn't like, this is the worst pain I've ever been feeling. Like I literally looked at my finger, and my poor mother was like, oh, are you okay? Because I also am very clumsy. Like I trip and fall all of the time. Very normal for me. And so like I very calmly said, Mom, I think I broke my finger. She goes, are you sure? And I look at her and I go, yeah. And she literally goes, oh my God.
To everyone who hasn't seen the picture, it was like this.
It was so bad.
This is your hand, right?
That's
like
my hand. Like that is like, the swelling's gone down thankfully, but I can't even like fully straighten my middle finger. Like you can kind of tell what's going on with her,
But it kind of looks normal now. So we're glad for you. We're happy for you that,
ABC music video, we would all like flip off the camera, and I would have to use my hand that wasn't fucked up, because if I did my middle finger with everybody right next to it, you can so see the bump. Like it literally for the longest time it was like this, and then boop, and then out. Like,
oh my goodness. Well, it's great that you even used it for your song, because it's perfect. I mean, it's ABCDEFU. So it turned out for the best. So we hope that you get to perform that and your other songs as well when you come here to the Philippines. Gayle, thank you so much for some of your time right now. And to everyone watching, please do vote for ABCDEFU on our website, mix.global, for it to enter the Mix charts. But for now, that's it for our time with Gayle. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been great talking to you, and thank you so much for your stories. But for now, that's it. Once again, I'm BJ IE from Mix, and this has been a MYXclusive interview with Gayle.